guys, Camilla here and welcome to my YouTube channel and blog. Today I have for you a fun interactive Father's Day card. It's a slider card using this cute Lawn Fawn Dad and Me stamp set. As you can see, it has a few really sweet critters, called a lake or pond, some mountains, and loads of sentiments. So first off, I'm gonna do some die cutting. I'm using this cross-stitch frame rectangular die from Memory Box to die cut my card front using smooth white cardstock. Then I use some W+9 mountains die to die cut my mountains. As you can see here, they also come with these white mountain tops. You can see there on the right. I used some dark gray cardstock for that, and now I am gonna create the background, my sky. So I'm gonna use this Ivory L die set. It's a cloud die set. It has many beautiful cloud dies, as well as like a border die. And I cut it out of regular printers, like a printer paper, and I'm using my Distress ink in tumbled glass to create my sky. As you can see here, I'm using my blending tool. It's a mini round blending tool, and I've created some clouds. So now I have my clouds. That's gonna be my background. I'm gonna check how my mountains look like, and now I'm gonna use this cute little die. It's also from W+9 die set called Sunshine Layers die set. And now I'm gonna adhere my mountain tops, and as you can see, this panel, the mountains panel, is also cut out with a cross stitching all around, so that it matches when I adhere it on top of my white front panel. I'm using Tombow Mono liquid glue to adhere my mountain tops, or rather snow tops. And now I have those on. I'm gonna work on the bottom of my card front. I'm gonna cut some grass using Lawn Fawn grassy border die. I'm gonna use some leftover cardstock, green cardstock I have, so it's nothing really branded. You can use whatever you have. I always stress that because I know how easy it is to get into the craze of all new brand products and start buying. So I'm using what I have. Here's my grassy border die. I die cut that. And now I'm going to do some stamping. I'm going to go with the mooses because I really love mooses. I don't know, for some reason. And me and my dad have all kinds of funny jokes with those. So I'm definitely gonna use the mooses. Am I saying it right? And I'm gonna also stamp a few fish, and later on I'm using this moss color by Hero Arts. I'm gonna stamp out these plants to go around my lake or pond, and then I'm gonna use some archival ink, and I'm gonna stamp those tops of those plants. I don't remember how those are called, so. But if you do know the name of these plants, I would appreciate it if you wrote it in the comment down below. And now I'm starting my coloring. I'm using some simple coloring. I'm using my Copic markers. And these are the chows, since I'm not gonna hide the fact that they are much cheaper for me. So that's the reason why I got them. And to be honest, I don't really know why people get the sketch markers, apart from the fact that it doesn't roll off the table. I mean, I don't live on the hilltop, so it's okay. And they are cheaper and they are refillable, so I don't know. So I'm going in with E29 right now. The one before was E25. I'm gonna do some simple coloring, a little bit of shading. I'm not an expert, so if you think it doesn't look perfect, I hope you're gonna do a better job, and I would appreciate it if you linked your video so that I can see how it's done, especially with these particular images. And so I'm gonna leave you with some music during the coloring, and I'll catch up with you to assemble the card.
Thank you.
Okie doke, all my images are colored in. I'm gonna fussy cut them, and now I'm gonna stamp the pond, for which I am using this Hero Arts Deep Ocean ink pad, and I'm gonna stamp this little bit of water as well. And I also fussy cut those. I also added a little hat for Papa Moose, and now I'm gonna assemble my card front. So as you can see, I have my mountains, I have my clouds. Now I'm gonna add my sun, which I'm gonna add some foam tape at the back to kind of keep it together, the center and outside. I'm gonna put the sun behind my mountains. I used this tonic tape runner to adhere my mountains. You could see it for 1 second there. I'm gonna now add the grass, but before I actually adhere the grass, I'm trying to figure out the placement. So this water is gonna be here, then the pond, which I think I'm holding upside down. Then I'm gonna add all my plants and so on. I'm trying to figure out how to do it, as this is gonna be a slider card, so I'm trying to figure out the little animals. And of course I'm going in with my cross stitch frame die to also die cut the grass so that it matches perfectly with the framing of the card front. And here's the Lawn Fawn die set, the slider die set that I'm gonna use here. I'm gonna use the tiny slider. I'm gonna put down there. It's gonna be above the sentiment. I actually originally wanted the animals to move as well, but somehow in the process I changed my mind. I think I found it too complicated. Of course, after the card was done, I realized how I could have done it. So now I'm stamping out the sentiment. I'm using Versa Fine Black Onyx ink. It gives a really beautiful, crisp impression. And my sentiment will say, "Dad, your jokes are always amusing," which is really hilarious, and they're so totally my dad and me type of a joke. I'm adding 3 dots because the rest of the sentiment will slide out from underneath the card front. I'm adding my foam squares here, and before I started adding the second row, I realized that I have to cut the slider first. And to be honest, if I would be making this card again, I would make my slider from a little thicker cardstock, because this one, you know, when I started moving it back and forth, it kind of started bending because it was just a, I think, 80-pound cardstock, so it wasn't super sturdy. So next time I will definitely use a thicker one. I also die cut another grassy border from a darker green cardstock to put over the slider to cover it up. Originally I thought I'm gonna add the moose on there, so it moves a little closer to the little moose, which would be on the other side, but I somehow changed my mind. I think I maybe forgot or thought it might be too difficult. Anyway, I am adhering my fish and the plants, which you will see later on changed its placement many times. And now I'm gonna adhere this another grassy border. And because I used some tape runner to adhere but the grassy border, I went in with the powder tool to remove the stickiness from the back of that grassy border element. And now I'm gonna adhere my critters. I'm going to stamp out the rest of the sentiment on my slider part. I'm also using the Versa Fine ink. I am adding a little foam square at the end there, so the sentiment will not fly out through the other side. And I am adhering the card front right here, like a brave person, without thinking that, of course, if you pull it, it will totally come out. So later on you'll see me put another foam square on the slider so that it kind of blocks it from come out completely. I'm gonna put the whole panel using my tape runner on my craft card base. I thought it complemented it really nicely with the brown animals. And here you can see me add a little foam square at the end, which I'm gonna slide in. And then I'm going to add another half of this foam square to the top of the card front. As you can see, I press it there, but it has only adhesive on the top, so it will not stick to the slider stripe. It will actually stop because at the end of the stripe there's also a piece of foam tape. I hope you get the point. Sorry for not making it a little clearer, but I came up with this later in the day when I was actually in bed already, and I thought, wait a minute, if I pull it, it's gonna completely fall out. So here it is, the whole card completed. I really love the images. I love the idea of a slider card. I hope you do too. I'm planning to make many more slider cards in the future, since now I have the Lawn Fawn die set that I actually absolutely love. It definitely makes my life so much easier, and I'm so happy that I can make these cards much quicker. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I catch you again soon with a new card making video on my channel. Have a super lovely day. Bye!